First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled, We as Soldiers Cannot Live Like Civilians. Okay? And the reason I say we are soldiers is because that's what the scriptures say we ought to be. Okay, we're soldiers in a spiritual warfare. Okay, and it's not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And Satan is constantly looking, as the scriptures say, as a roaring lion whom he may devour. He's constantly looking to devour you. All right, so you have to constantly be on your guard. You can't live carelessly as the people of this world, because that can open you up for Satan, you know. So you got to be more on your P's and Q's than the rest of these people of the world. And I'll read that article in a minute and get a few points from there. But the first thing I'm going to read is 2 Timothy 2:1. Right, this is a letter to Timothy from Paul. It says, "Be strong." Right, the headline. Right, "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also." Right, because we're looking to recruit more soldiers into this army. Right, it says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushai Hamashiach." So we have to endure hardness as a good soldier as we're going through these particular trials and tribulations. Okay, let's look up the word endure. Okay, because following Yahushai comes with definite trials and tribulations. It says, "Kako pateo," says to suffer. Okay, evils, to be afflicted. Okay, suffer trouble. Right, the word suffer, that goes into patience. Right, the word patience means to suffer. Right, so you have to suffer, be patient in affliction. Be patient in that suffering. Okay, you have to endure it. You got to endure the suffering. Okay, it says, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier." So we can't entangle ourselves, be all caught up in the affairs of this life. That's why it says, "He that have wives, they that have wives, be as though they have none." Right? "He that rejoices as if he rejoiced not," you know, so on and so forth. We have to be as if we're just passing through this earth, you know, for a mission. But we have to be concerned with the main mission, which is serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, everything else is looked at as secondary. Okay, secondary to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Right? So when we live, we also can't be careless. You know what I'm saying? Because being careless can have Satan, have Satan take advantage of you. Right? So understand what you're a part of. Okay. Let's go to Sirach 2. This is Sirach 2, or Ecclesiasticus 2, in verse 1. And it reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Right? Like if you go to the army, right, and you're in the midst of war, you have to prepare yourself for tests. You know that you're gonna go through tests. You know that things are not gonna be easy. You know that you're gonna have to adjust Okay? It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Yeah, don't be rash when trouble comes upon you. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Okay, so you still can't go into a civilian way of thinking, even though you're going through these hardships. You have to stay on that, in that soldier mentality for Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because if you don't, then guess what? You have the potential of falling. You see that? You see? So you can't do that. You gotta be on your P's and Q's, because like I said, Satan is looking to take you out. Okay? It says, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right, so let's go to this is First Peter's 5 and verse start at verse 6. It says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant. Right? So we have to be sober, we have to be vigilant. Okay? Right? So you can't just fall into a state of lackadaisicalness and not paying attention to what's going on around you. Okay? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And what did he do with Job? He messed with his whole situation. Okay? He took his kids away. He brought all kind of hell upon him. Took his wife away, sickness upon him. All kind. He was attacking. He was given a green light to attack Job. Based upon his life. Right? And guess what? Satan has a certain green light to do certain things to us. Right? So you have to be alert. You have to be vigilant to watch where you're going, so that you don't fall into these different traps. It speaks about the wiles of the devil, which means the trickery of the devil. Right? So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the power of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. Right? Because all these things are to make you stronger, to strengthen you, to establish you in faith. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. All right. So that's the bottom line. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he wants you to go through these different things, to go through these afflictions so that you can be stronger. Right? As we go through these afflictions, though, we have to be sober, and understand that we're in war. If you don't understand that you're in a war and you're living like you're not in a war, or you're just very, very open to Satan's trickery. Okay, this is Ephesians 6 and verse 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High." See, the scriptures constantly speak about being strong, enduring. We're supposed to be spiritually strong. These people, they're not spiritually strong, man. They're weak. That's why they give in to Satan. They give in to Satan at every little whim, man. But we're going through a totally different battle. We're targets of Satan. Satan already got these people. We're targets of Satan. This is Ephesians 6 and 11. Salak. It says, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So this is a spiritual battle that we're fighting. "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness." Okay, you have to stand in the midst of what? You have to stand in the midst of these tribulations. And it says what? "And having done all to stand." So you got to put all you can put in to stand and stay firm in this truth and walk in that path as a soldier of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and not as a civilian. It says, "And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, and for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak." Right? And we see all the things that Paul went through. Paul went through a lot of things. We went through, being shipwrecked. He died, came back to life. In perils of robbers and this and that and the third. See, being hungry, naked, you know what I'm saying? Like cold, all these different things he was explaining that he went through. He did all that for Yahweh Shem Yahushai and being in the mind state of a soldier and not of a civilian. Because a civilian would say, why would I want to go through this stuff? Why would I go through this thing? But he understood what he was doing it for. He was doing it for the crown that he spoke about being laid up for him. He was putting in a hell of a lot of work, man. More than all the apostles. See? And what came from that? Multitudes of fruit. Multitudes of fruit. And all those things that he did, putting the different disciples to death, he was forgiven of all those things through the grace of Yahweh Shai. You see what I'm saying? Because he was a vessel that Yahweh Shai used. Right? A soldier. And we are all soldiers to be used of Yahweh Shai. But we can't have the mindset of civilians. So let's go here to this particular article. It says Liberty Military Housing's blog. 9 differences between military life and versus civilian life. And I'll skip a few of them because they're not relevant to the points that I'm trying to make. It says skill set. One of the biggest disconnects between being in the military and rejoining the civilian community is the experience for transitioning service members, the experiences you've had during your time in service are going to be pretty foreign to anyone who hasn't served. Keep that in mind as you begin to forge new friendships. Not everyone will understand what you've experienced, so remember to be patient, right? These people are not going to understand you. They're not going to understand this lifestyle that you live in, and the experiences that you had, in these different spiritual battles. They're not going to get it, right? They're not going to get it. Let's go here real quick. This is Romans 5 and verse. I'll start at verse 1. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with the Most High through our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace, wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High, which they don't understand any of that. Okay. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also. So people are going to look at you crazy if you say how you glory in tribulations, right? The way the disciples were beaten and they praised Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that they were worthy to be beaten for his name's sake. That is not how the average civilian thinks. Okay. It says, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of the Most High is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. For when we were yet without strength, in due time Hamashiach died for the ungodly. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die, yet peradventure for a good man some would even dare to die. But the Most High commandeth his love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Hamashiach died for us. See, they don't really understand and grasp the sacrifice of Yahushua either, right? And know why he came here and why he died. Even these Christians, they don't understand, and what his walk and what it would be like to be a follower of Yahushua. These Christians don't understand that suffering is part of the walk. They don't even get that. Okay. Had this one Christian say, basically with not so many words, he's like, oh, you going through so much. Yeah, it's because because you're not following Jesus Christ. He's calling on that other name. See, because he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that. What about Paul? Was Paul living that, easygoing life in general? I'm sure there was definitely times where, he had the easy, he was chilling, but he was going through a lot of tribulation too. All right. But they don't take that into consideration. Anyway, it says self-care. It says in the military, caring about yourself is not as much of a priority in civilian life. I think they mean as in civilian life. It says your focus was more on your crew and the task at hand. See? So, right. Sure, you kept your body in great shape, but you never splurged on treating yourself, right? You weren't all into the cares of this world. You didn't have the so-called fun to the extent that these people of this world had it. Sure, we had, you have times of fun, brothers do certain things, but it's not to the extent of the people of the world. I mean, they're going hard. When it comes to partying, they're going hard. When it comes to these hoes, they're going hard. All right, they're having some real, they're having real fun. Let's put it that way. Compared to us, right? We have our pockets of fun, but it's better to overall live a stoic life, and then have pockets of fun rather than have a whole life built upon fun. And see, that's the mindset of a soldier. I mean, soldiers play cards and stuff like that, and they even get with women. But the thing is, you have to remember you're a soldier, and especially if you're in the midst of war, you have to be very you have to put those things to the back burner. It says transitioning into civilian life means you have new opportunities to spend more time and money buying high quality personal care items such as shampoo, grooming products, makeup, and haircut, so on and so forth. Okay, I look at that as the luxuries of life. Of course, we can buy shampoo and things like that. I'm just transitioning it to this walk that we're walking as men of the Lord, versus the people of the world. Okay, and it says relationships, right? It says from friends to family, adjusting to your relationships after the military is an exciting shift. After time away and doing long distance, coming back into civilian life means finding how you fit in with the established lives of those who stayed home, making plans to go out, so on and so forth. Because why? Because while you're in the military, you're not with them like that. It said long distance, right? And even now, as you're with your family, you're with these people of the world, you have to keep a particular arm distance from them. You got to keep because they're all liable agents, man. Let's be real, and they really don't really understand you like that. You see what I'm saying? And if you're too attached, that could Satan could use that against you, right? What happens when you're watching these movies and they got a bad guy, and they got some dude that's he may be like a secret agent or whatever. And then he has this wife he cares about. Who do they go and target? They go and target that wife that he cares about, and goes and puts her ass in the back of the car and puts the phone to him. Yeah, says makes her say something. Oh baby, help, here, help, and then they'll take the phone back, right? Because they know he has something that he's attached to, right? If you don't have anything you're attached to, man, ain't really nothing they could really use against you like that. Right? And it's not to say you're not going to be attached to your family and things like that, but like I said, you gotta put everything into perspective. That's why the scripture says, "He that hateth not his mother and his father is not worthy of me." Right? And his wife and his own life also is not worthy of me, because because you're willing to put that before Yahweh Shai. That is the problem. Doesn't mean you go around and say, F you, I hate you, you smack up your wife. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the fact of you not putting anything before Yahweh Shai. You're not too attached to anything. You see? And it goes into jobs. No, I don't think this doesn't have anything that I'm looking for that's relevant to the point. Housing. Right. It says civilian life typically means you are going to be moving less than when you are in the military, right? Because, the scripture says that, be ye as pilgrims upon the earth, man. Like we're just passing through, see? And we're going to come to a time that where it's going to literally have to be that, because, we're going to be on the run. A lot of brothers are going to be on the run, if not all, to some extent, because they're going to be coming after us. All right. So we're going to have to live like pilgrims. It's not going to be this Uber Eats life that we're living now. Okay. Expectations. Okay, let's do what expectations says. It is no secret that military life has some strict rules and expectations. See, that's that. You can look at that as what? As that the stoicism that's in the scriptures. Because you live in that carefree life that Satan could get you, man. Satan could get you. All right? Satan just seems to pop up right at the right time. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit over the speed limit. I'm gonna go 15, 20 over the speed limit. Yeah, man. It ain't nothing. And I have a heavy foot on the gas pedal, man. And what happens? There's the guy. There's the devil with the meter, with the thing hiding in the cut with the what do you call that? The speedometer or whatever you call that thing, right? No, now he's behind you. Now you got a ticket, right? And this is a wicked, evil society, man. It's a real predatory, sick, evil, extortionist society, man. They just squeeze the people to death. But anyways, so say, hey, guess we're not civilians. We're not civilians, man. We got to move differently. Maybe a civilian could get away with those things, but hey, we want to try to avoid these things as much as possible. It says this might be one of the biggest contrasts between military versus civilian life. Rigid schedules, tone of voice, response to commands, and how you present yourself are just a few examples of things you will no longer need to adhere to, and strictly when transitioning to civilian life, right? There's a different expectation when we're in this truth. All right, let's go to community. It says, when you are in the military, your crew becomes your family. Meaning what? The brothers in this truth, the brothers and sisters in this truth, those are our family. That's what Yahweh Shai said. Did he not say that? Okay, let's go to that. Let's go to who is my father, who is my mother, right? Or who is my mother, rather. He didn't say who is my father. He said who is my mother. This is Matthew 12:48. It says, I'll start at verse 46. It says, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. You see that? That's it. Point blank, period, man. So we can't live the same life as these regular people in the world. That's the bottom line, you know? And that's pretty much the point on that. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.